Okay, welcome to the SCA Tanach study Yom Haasmaut class. Today's classes are sponsored in memory of Mr. Stanley Chera A, Shalom, just passed away by the Chera family. Today, in honor of Yom Haasmaut, I'm going to take you through the following 5 steps to, I think, in a very important approach to thinking about Yom Haasmaut in the year 5780. We're going to talk about the original divine plan from the Torah. We're going to talk about the return. We're going to talk about the denial. We're going to talk about the importance of imagination. And then lastly, we're going to talk about hope and the concept of magnetism. So let me begin. I'm going to scroll through through my page here, and I'm going to draw a picture for you based on the Pesukim directly from the Torah and some of the rabbis and hachamim who expand upon it. Let's begin. The divine plan for the land of Israel and the Jewish people. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. It's the first pasuk in the entire Torah. Rashi finds it essential to comment on this pasuk. Famously, first Rashi in the entire Torah. Amar bi Yitzhak lo haya sarich le'atchil et Torah ela me'chodesh hazeh lachem. You only had to start the Torah from HaChodesh hazeh lachem, which appears in Sefer Shemot, the second book of the 5 books of Moses, because that is shehi mitzvah rishona shenetzavu ba Yisrael. Umat ta'am patach beBereshit. And why does the Torah start with Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz? In order to show mishum koach ma'asav higid le'amo latet lahem nahalat goyim. In order to show that the creator of the world is the one who decided to give as an inheritance, as a portion, the land of Israel to the Jewish people. She'im yomru umot ha'olam le'Yisrael listim atem. Because if the nations of the world say the Jews stole the land of Israel from others, shekevashtem artzot shev'ah goyim, הם אומרים להם כל הארץ של הקדוש ברוך הוא בראה ונתנה לאשר ישר בעיניו ברצונו נתנה להם וברצונו נטלה מהם ונתנה לנו. The reason why, according to Rashi, that we begin by opening up Sefer Bereshit is that you need that as the context to understand that the creator of the world decided whose land belongs to which people. Later on, when we talk about Abraham Avinu, in the famous Berit Ben Abetarim, in Bereshit Perek Tet Vav, HaKadosh Baruch Hu famously gives a covenant to Abraham Avinu, but not only to him, but also to his children. It says, Vahi Hashemesh Ba'av Ve'alata Haya, Ve'ine Ta'ur Asham Ve'lapid Esh Asher Aval Ben HaGezarim Ha'ile. And there was a lot of smoke and there was a lot of fire. Vayom Ahu Karat Adonai Et Avram Berit Lemor. On that day, God created a covenant with Abraham, saying, Lezaracha natati et ha'aretz hazot, to your children, to your progeny, to your great-grandchildren, I am giving the land here. Minehar Mitzrayim ad hanahar hagadol nehar pirat, from river to river, et the Keni, the land of the Keni, the Kenizi, a Kedmoni, a Hitti, a Perizi, a Rephaim, a Emori, a Kani, a Gigashi, a Ibusi. That is famously the Brit Ben Abetarim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the creator of the universe, decided at that point to gift as an inheritance the land of Israel to the Jewish people. Later on, once again to Abraham, it says, Vayi Abraham ben Tishim Shana V'Tesha Shanim. He was 99 years old. Vayira Adonai el Abraham vayomer elav ani El Shaddai. I am El Shaddai. Hitalech lefanai v'hayet tamim. Ve'etena beriti beni ubenecha ve'arbe otecha b'm'on be'od. ויפול אברהם על פניו וידבר איתו אלוהים לאמור אני הנה בריתי איתך והיית לאב המון גויים. This is the famous pasuk where HaKadosh Baruch Hu calls Abraham the father of the nations. As we know today, Abraham is the father of the 3 main religions of humanity. But here is where he changes the name. V'lo yikareh od et shimcha Abraham v'haya shimcha Abraham. Changes the name from Abraham to Abraham. Ki av hamon goyim netaticha. The extra hair could be represented by Hamon, by the masses, because you're now the father of the masses. and I'm going to cause you to be plentiful, many. And here's where we continue the Brit B'nai Betarim concept. והקימותי את בריתי ביני ובינך ובין זרעך את אחריך לדורותם לברית עולם, להיות לך לאלוהים ולזרעך אחריך. פסוק ח' ונתתי לך ולזרעך האחריך את ארץ מגוריך. I'm going to give you and the children that come after you this land. את כל ארץ כנען לאחוזת עולם. I'm going to give them all of the Canaanite land for eternity, le'ahuzat olam, for eternity forever. V'hayiti lahem le'elohim. V'yomer Elohim el Abraham, v'ata et beriti tishmo. You also have to watch over the covenant. Ata v'zaracha harecha ledorotam, for generations and generations and generations to come. But we know that the promise that Kadosh Baruch Hu gave to Abraham Abinu was not immediately fulfilled. It took many, many, many years for the Jewish people to eventually get to the Eretz Yisrael in the time of Yehoshua, and that we know that during the times of the Shoftim and of the Melachim and of the Nebi'im, we know that the Jewish people would always sin and go against the word of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and would have to be reminded again and again and again of the straight path, the path of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's at this point that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives a series of berachot and kelalot, of blessings and of curses. And very sadly, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says in Sefer Derarim that there will be a time where you will sin so much that you will get the kilala. The kilala, the curse, will be, one of the curses will be that you will depart from the land that I have promised you. But what does that mean, depart? Depart, not for olam, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu already gave a promise that we will have the land forever. One second, I'm getting a chat. I just want to check this. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us the land forever. So what does it mean that one of the curses would be that you would get kicked out or you'll have to leave your land of Israel? So the interpretation of this is that there will be eventually a return. At the end of Sefer Devarim, in one of the last chapters of the 5 books of Moses, in Devarim Perek Lamed, in Pasuk Gimel, it says, V'shab Adonai Elohecha et shivutecha v'yichamecha. ושב וקפיצך מכל העמים, אשר הפיצך אדוני אלוהיך שמה. אם יהיה נדחך בקצה השמיים, משם יקפיצך אדוני אלוהיך, משם ייקחך. ויביאך אדוני אלוהיך אל הארץ, אשר ירשו אבותיך, וירשתה, ויתך וירבך מאבותיך. This is the promise, the age-old promise of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that even though the Jewish people would have been exiled to the 4 corners of the earth, there will be a time, Moshe Rabbeinu says in the future, there will be a time that even though you are even though you would dispersed and exiled to all those different places, there will be a time in the future, part of the divine plan, God will return all those who are in captivity, and he will have compassion on them. He will collect all the Jewish people from all the nations that he spread you out amongst. Even those Jews who were pushed out to the ends of the earth, to the ends of the universe, God will collect you from there, and he will take you from there. And what will he do with you when he takes you? He will bring you to the land that your forefathers inherited. And he will do good to you, and he will cause you to grow. Much later on, after the Bible, after the Torah was completed, Rambam comments very famously in the Mishneh Torah Hilchot Melachim u'Melhamot Perek He. Asur laset me'eretz Yisrael l'chutz ha'la'aretz le'olam. Rambam says, and we're not going to, this class is not about the halachic details. I'm trying to paint a picture for you about the divine plan. Of course, that everything that I'm saying has been discussed and has been explained and disagreed upon, and the hairs have been split over thousands of years of mefarshim. And I invite anyone to comment or to ask a question that I will consider and respond privately. Rambam here says, "Asur laset me'eretz Yisrael l'chutz ha'aretz le'olam." You cannot leave Israel to chutz ha'aretz le'olam at any point in time. Ella l'lmod Torah, unless you have to leave Eretz Yisrael to go to learn Torah. And there was a certain time where the center of Torah learning was in Babel. Or lisa isha, or to get married, or lehatzil miyad ha'goyim, or for safety reasons. But then you have to go back. You could also leave Eretz Yisrael for business. Means a person who was born in Eretz Yisrael should not leave unless it's for those 4 reasons. It's asur to reside outside the land of Israel, as many of us on this Zoom chat are right now. Asur. Unless in Israel there is a famine. Rambam explains what the economic situation has to be, how bad it has to be in order to allow you to leave Eretz Yisrael. Halacha Yod Gimel. Gedolei ha'hachamim hayu menashekim al tchumei Eretz Yisrael umenashekim avaneha umetgadgelin al afara. Rambam quotes that there were tremendous hachamim that would kiss the borders of Eretz Yisrael. I remember explicitly seeing this with my own eyes. In my day, when people went to Eretz Yisrael, they would get off the plane and they would go down the stairs from the plane onto the tarmac, and I saw many, many people bend down, bow, and kiss the tarmac. Umnashekim avanei, and he would kiss the stones. We see that happening with the Kotel Ma'arabi. Umitgadgilim al-afaram, would roll around in the dirt. I don't know if this is Rambam here is meaning to be literal or metaphorical, but it says v'chen omer kiratzu avadecha et avaneha et afara yachonenu. In Tehillim. Rambam continues in Pasuk Yod Dalet, in Halakha Yod Dalet. Amru hachamim, kol hashochen be'eretz Yisrael avonotam mechulim. Anybody who lives in Eretz Yisrael, your sins are forgiven. Skipping down, afilu halach ba'arba amot, even if you only walk 4 footsteps, which is 6 feet. Zocheh lahayeh olam ba. These are tremendous statements which don't seem halachic. And I don't completely understand them. I'm just quoting them. And he continues to say, "V'chola kabur ba," anybody who is buried in the land of Israel, that kapar lo, he is forgiven for his sins. It's as if he offered himself as on a mizbeach kapara, and Rambam cites certain pesukim. And he says, a person who can't live in Eretz Yisrael, and who at least dies in Eretz Yisrael, and who is buried in Eretz Yisrael, right, is forgiven for his sin, and he quotes Se ulmad mi Yaakov Abinu veYosef HaSadiq. Continuing. See, I only have 15 minutes left. Wow. Le'olam yadur adam be'eretz Yisrael afilu be'ishru ba'goyim. There's a specific law that Rambam is saying that you're not allowed to live outside the land of Israel in a city that has mostly reshaim. But here, Rambam says you can live in Eretz Yisrael even in a city that has mostly goyim. ואל ידעו בחוץ לארץ ואפילו בעיר שרובה ישראל. שכל היוצא לחוץ לארץ כאילו עובד עבודה זרה. Rambam says anybody who lives in חוץ לארץ, it's as if you are committing עבודה זרה, שנאמר כי גירשוני היום מהסתפח בנחלת אדוני לאמור לך עבוד אלוהים אחרים. And this is quoted in the Talmud Ketubot Daf Kof Yod Aleph. that anybody who lives outside the land of Israel, it's as if you have no God, and a person who lives in Eretz Israel, it's as if you even have a God. Even the sinners in Eretz Israel would be considered as believing in God. But there are people to the second stage of the class. There are people who deny the divine plan. There are people who deny the dream of the Jewish people. There are people who deny the promise that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave to the Jewish people, to Abraham, and to all of his children. Why do they deny it? And this might be also the source of tremendous anti-Semitism. Why do they do not deny 1948, 72 years ago, when the Jewish people, after 2,000 years, recaptured and regained Eretz Israel? It's because the scientific mind and the logical way of thinking likes to fit things that happen into general modes, into generalities, into established norms. The human mind likes to think that the human mind can understand and to fit and to structure and to organize all the things that are happening in the universe. But what happened in 1948 defies conventional conceptions. It defies ordinary expectations. And to those people who really use only their minds in order to live their life, and only their logic, and only their rational, only their own habits of the mind, it's an embarrassing thing to admit that something has happened that you can't comprehend. It's an embarrassing thing to say that I can't figure out how what just happened is a reality. Because normally the way we work is that we conform to certain modes of thinking. We think in structures of sameness, of established norms. And to say something like 2,000 years of people who's been picked on, purged, and programmed are able to regain access and ownership of the land of Israel is an embarrassment. And that's why some people are not willing to accept it. And essentially, this is a shock to the system of humanity. Israel regaining the land in 1948 and Yerushalayim in 1967 is a radical surprise. It is a shock to the human mind. And what is it? It's a shock to the human mind to reconsider the Torah's way of thinking about the world and not the scientific, human, logical way of thinking about the world. Very, very important point that when you want to think about the homogenization of history, that everything happens according to a specific order, that really deprives you of allowing for miracles. It deprives you of the ability for something to change. And that's literally the Greek way of thinking. The Greeks don't think that the world was ever created. When we say Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim et haaretz, the Greeks think the universe always existed and never changed. There was no creator and there was no creation. There was no beginning and there's no end. Yet the Jews believe in a creator who can create, change. So Israel in 1948 is a resurrection. Israel in 1948 is a renewed beginning. Not a new beginning because we had it promised to us so many years ago. It's a renewed beginning. Now, what do we need? What do we need in order to be able to accept 1948 and the modern state of Israel? We need the concept of imagination. Imagination is very different than logic. Imagination is very different than thinking rationally. Imagination is allowing for the possibility of a miracle. In Yehezkel 37, which we read in these times of the year, says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu spoke to Yehezkel, and he said in Pasukim, "Vayomer ela ben Adam, hatahyenna ha'asamot ha'eleh." Yehezkel, the bones that you see before you in the valley of dry bones, can they live again? Yehezkel is smart enough to say, "Vayomar Adonai Elohim atah yadata." Only you know, God. Only you really truly know what is capable. As a human being, using the systems of the studies of science, I would say no. But only you, God, know really if these can become alive. And we know that the Valley of Dry Bones prophecy is that those bones, sinews grow on it, muscle grows on it, skin grows on it, and they come alive once again. And many use that nibu'ah, the Yehezkel in chapter 37, as a symbolism for the modern state of Israel. Yeshayahu, Perek Nun He, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, don't think that your human mind can fully understand what's going on. Pasuk Het, Ki lo machshevotai machshevotechem, velo darkechem derachai ne'um Adonai. My thoughts are not your thoughts, human beings. My ways are not your ways. Ki gabehu shamayim me'aretz. He can gabehu derachai darkechem. Just like the heavens are so far, or so high away from the earth, so are my ways from your ways, and my thoughts from your thoughts. You can't completely understand my plan. And that's the difference between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and humanity. How have we become so logical and rational that we repudiate the ideas of the Torah? Have our minds become so scientific and so logical that the dream of the divine plan for the Jewish people, so 3,000 years ago to Abraham Avinu, doesn't allow it for us to imagine the possibility of it, that we don't allow for mystery, that we don't allow for the possibility of miracles? At the end, we left with hope and magnetism. Yeshayahu Perek Sam says, Kumi ori ki ba orech, uchvod Adonai alai zarach. Arise, shine, for your light has dawned. The presence of the Lord has shone upon you. Later on it says, Lo yeh lach od hashemesh leor yomam. In the future, the light of the sun would no longer be your light, is what enlightens your way. Lo yeh lach, pasuk yotet, lo yeh lach od hashemesh leor yomam ul noga. Hayareach lo ya'ilach. The moon is not going to light. You're not going to need the light of the moon to light your way. What will it be? V'haya lach Adonai le'or olam. God will be the one who lights up the universe. Elohayich l'tifartech. Later on it says, V'amech kulam tzadikim le'olam yidish u'aretz. All of the nation of the Jewish people are considered tzadikim. They will inherit the land. The little person, the one, will be considered 1,000. In the right time, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will speed it up. And lastly, in Yeshayahu Perek Nun Het, it says, Az yibaka kashar horecha, dealing with the proper way of fasting. Yeshayahu explains that if you fast in the right way, and you are kind to those and you feed those who have no food, and you shelter those who have no home, Az yibaka kashar orecha, the light will break forth and shine upon you. And your healing will be very quick in coming. You will call out and HaKadosh Baruch Hu will respond. He will call out and he will say he was here. I want to finish with a concept of magnetism from Rav Kook, Rav Abraham Yitzhak Kook, who was writing in the 1920s. And with that, I'll close. In the remaining few minutes, if you'd like to ask a question, I'll try. He says, and I'll read it in English because the Hebrew is very, very difficult. In chapter 6, he says, the flow of holiness, which began in the land of Israel, gathers all the refined sparks of holiness found outside the land in all the depths, and attracts them by its magnetism. Meaning that in Eretz Israel is the source of holiness, and all over the world there are sparks of people who are thinking about Eretz Israel. Listen to this. The more difficult it is to endure the air outside the land, the more one feels the spirit of impurity of an impure land. This is a sign. This is a sign of an inner absorption of the holiness of the land of Israel. The more difficult, the more painful that it is for you to live in Chutz La'aretz, outside the land of Israel, the more it shows that you are absorbed with the Kedusha of Eretz Israel. So the more pain you're in by living outside the land of Israel, it shows how much you are connected to the land of Israel, of a supernal divine love which will not abandon one who has merited to find shelter in the pure shade of the land of life. Even when one wanders far away, even in one's land of exile, the strangeness that one feels outside the land binds all the inner spiritual desire to the land and its holiness even more. So I urge you all, on this Yom Haasmaut, on this day, we really think about how painful we are in, how much pain we are in, that we are not found in the Eretz Israel, and that we do all we can in order to make sure that all of the people who deny the divine plan, who deny the dream of the Jewish people, we show them that the Jewish people have hope, we have imagination, we believe in miracles, we believe in the promise that Hashem made to Abraham Abinu, and then we believe in the promise that he made to the Jewish people, that Eretz Israel will be our inheritance forever. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to entertain them now.
Hi, Rabbi. Yes, I have a
Yes.
question. So in many parts of our religion, when we say something is kadosh, it's because we declared it. We made it kadosh. Shabbat, we make the declaration for Shabbat that it's kadosh, that day is kadosh for us. When I don't know, when something is set aside as holy, it's because we said it. It's not that it's intrinsically holy. It's because we set it aside as holy. Is the land of Israel, we see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying that it's holy. Is it something that it's intrinsically the land itself is holy, or is it something that we make it holy?
So it's a fantastic question you're asking. So Yerushalayim is different than the land of Israel. Harabayit is different than the land of Israel in the words of Harambam. It's a very complicated question you're asking. There are people who say that in order for the land of Israel to retain its holiness, the Jewish people have to act properly and to fulfill the mitzvot. But that is different for Yerushalayim and for Har HaBayit specifically. I would say, in response, that we should do all we can do by doing the mitzvot of Eretz Israel, and that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will in kind bless Eretz Israel with the proper beracha of Kedusha. But it seems like Yerushalayim and Har HaBayit is different than the rest. Any other questions in the remaining 2 minutes? How many people want to get on a plane right now and go to Eretz Israel, based on the words of Harambam and of the Torah and of the Talmud?
Absolutely.
Isn't that supposed to be the dream that we have every moment of every day?
Speak to my wife. I'm there already.
Right? Beautiful.
The deniers, Rabbi, can you classify them into a few groupings, or is it too spread out?
Which ones? I didn't hear you.
The deniers. You said the deniers of the land.
There are people among us who like to think only logically and only rationally, but by doing that, you're denying the possibility for the unknown, and you're denying the possibility for a miracle. And what you're really saying is that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu says in Yeshayahu that I quoted, that you think you know better, and the human beings must be put in their place by a miracle in order to prove once and for all that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the only one who knows what's going on.
Isn't there the idea of not relying on miracles and miracles only happen if we're not able to accept things in the natural, if we're not able to rise to the natural occasion, so to speak?
Yes, yeah, it's very, very complicated question. We have to do all the work that we need to do. True, but those are people who already believe, Jack. I'm talking about people who want to deny the fact that we're getting it back. The people who can't get over the fact that there's been a surprise on the human level. There are people who can't get over the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu actually did something for the Jewish people. The people who are already doing Hishtadlut and are asking you a question already believe that there's a system to work within in order to get Eretz Israel. I want to thank you all for joining. I have another class that I'm giving, so I have to sign off.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you all. Hag Sameach on Wednesday. Thank you to the
Thank
SCA and for the Chera family for sponsoring these classes in memory of Stanley
Amen.
Chera.